Here's one of my favorite quotes. You have a relationship with your doctor, but having your doctor call and say, hey, are you doing this? Because you should stop doing that, just feels creepy, end quote. Here's the latest. This is from Bloomberg.com. By the way, Michael Bloomberg, a guy who helped finance Thad Cochran's campaign. So look for gun control in a state that sounds a lot like Mississippi. You may soon get a call from your doctor if you let your gym membership lapse, or you made a habit of picking up candy bars, or you began smoking. That's because now some hospitals are starting to use detailed consumer data to create profiles on current and potential patients to identify those most likely to get sick, so the hospitals can intervene before they do get sick. Information compiled by data brokers from public records and credit card transactions can reveal where a person shops, the food they buy, whether or not they smoke. The largest hospital chain in the Carolinas is plunging into this data on 2 million people, and they're plugging it into algorithms designed to identify high-risk patients, while Pennsylvania's biggest system uses household and demographic data. Much of the information on consumer spending may seem irrelevant for a hospital or a doctor, but it provides a bigger picture beyond the brief glimpse that doctors get during the office visit and through lab results. For a patient with asthma, the hospital will be able to score how likely they are to arrive at an emergency room by looking at whether or not they refilled their asthma medication at the pharmacy, or if they've now been buying cigarettes at a grocery store, or live in an area or have traveled to an area with a high pollen count. Well, this is fantastic. And all they're going to do is just help you stay healthy. That's it. They're just tracking where you're having dinner, what you ate for dinner, what you're buying in grocery stores, where you're traveling to. Don't worry. It's all for your health. And they will certainly never, ever, ever, ever use that information to deny you access to health care or coverage, because they'll call you and say, hey, this is really bad behavior. I noticed here on your records, you haven't been to the gym in the last couple of weeks. Well, you're prone to have diabetes. And if you don't get to the gym, I guess universal health care is just not going to have to cover you because you're making a bad choice. This is the control that we talked about. This is exactly the kind of sci-fi nightmare that we warned against during this whole lead up to Obamacare. And everybody said, that's not going to happen. Well, here it is. Here it is in Pennsylvania and the Carolinas. Congratulations, America. This is what you've inflicted upon yourself. We still don't have anybody really standing up and saying, hey, how come you're monitoring the American people? How come you have the NSA collect everything, but somehow or another you let the IRS slip through the cracks? Why isn't anybody saying there are mirrored servers everywhere in the world? It's not like you send an email and it's gone. Okay, your server went down. You have no backup servers? You have nothing? And could we look at the mirrored servers? Because that email doesn't just disappear. And what are you exactly doing at the NSA? How come we're not getting any of that information? But they can track me and the hamburger that I might or might not have had at a Wendy's and give that to a hospital, and the hospital can then call me and say, hey, fatso, slow down on the hamburgers. That's incredible to me.
I'd go out of my mind.
It's absolutely incredible.
Out of my mind if I ever got a call like that. No way would I ever frequently, and maybe this is just a way to work it out through the free market system, because there's no way I would continue with that doctor or that hospital if they start calling me and telling me that I'm buying food that's not good for me. Shut up. It's none of your stinking business. I'm moving on. Well, isn't that how you'd handle that? So maybe you just let the free market work that out.
No, the free market's not going to be allowed to work it out, though, Pat. They're putting so many restrictions on the free market that and I know, their goal is to have a single-payer healthcare system. That's been their goal the whole time. So that you're not going to have a free market left. We barely have a free market left in this country at this point. I was at a grocery store yesterday, and these great people were, helping at the checkout. And one of the ladies, she's going through, because I'm on this new diet, and there's literally like 80 things I can eat. So it's all fruits and stinking vegetables on the counter there. And she said, "Wow, your mom will be proud. Look how healthy you're eating." And, that's one thing for the lady who is checking my groceries out.
Just say thanks for bringing that up. My mom's been dead for quite some time. You've crushed me today. Thanks a lot. Is that what you said to her? Because that would have been appropriate.
Oh, my gosh. Are you making fun of my mother's suicide? Is that what you're doing? Oh, my gosh, Pat. I
love that game.
I don't.
No, I love this game. Go ahead. Keep going.
I don't think I can. I have had the hardest week.
No, you haven't.
And
your week has been awesome. Your week has been awesome.
Then you come to me on the anniversary of my mother's death.
It's not the anniversary.
Make that
This is
joke.
not the anniversary of your mother's death.
Well, this year is one of the anniversaries.
Every day feels like the anniversary.
This is the
of my
routine you
mother's
should have
death.
done with the checkout clerk yesterday.
She wouldn't have thought it was that funny.
No.
Pat and I have been playing that game with each other for so long.
It's
For
25
so
years.
long.
Yeah.
And it hurts deeply every time.
Every time. Yeah.
No, but seriously, I mean, it is one thing really to sit here and have the lady who is checking out your groceries make a comment about what you're buying. But it's another for you to know that information is now being scanned and is now being put into a metadata tied to my credit card or my debit card. I just did a commercial for Goldline and said, hey, we're going to a cashless society. I know that sounds crazy. I know that also sounds, a little biblical. But that's where we're headed, a cashless society. And the people who are not our age, people who are, under 30, they don't carry cash. They don't they carry the debit card. Maybe they've got a little bit of cash. It doesn't matter to them. They're not looking at things the way we look at things. It's just more convenient. When you go to a completely cashless society, is the minute I walk into that grocery store and I swipe that card, they know exactly what I purchased. Everything that I purchased. It's another thing for the government and whoever else now taking my credit card information and saying he's eating this and here's where he's eating it. I'm not comfortable with that. I don't know about anybody else.